All right, welcome to lesson 14. What do you know about polynomials? Learning goal is let's put together what we've learned about polynomials so far. So this is a review section. This section is review basically. It says g of x is a polynomial. What are some things that you know about it? Well, the first thing here is it's degree 3. So that means the graph does one of these things, but it could be upside down. It could do one of those things. So that's something we know. Those are both factors, so they divide into the polynomial evenly. It has two horizontal intercepts, and only one is negative. Well, the first place where it crosses that we know about is right there, -4. -4 plus 4 makes 0. So it crosses at -4. It also, x means that x is 0 is another solution to the problem. So I'm going to make a little xy axis here and go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where it crosses. And then it has to do with negative or 0 as well. Well, here's the deal with this. There's only two horizontal intercepts. So there's only two dots there, which means there has to be a bump. Or not a bump, we called it a bounce. And it's going to bounce at 0. All right, and the coefficient's negative, so that means it does this thing. It's negative and odd, so it's going to be up on the left and down on the right. All right, so we go through here. It actually intersects there, and then it bounces off of 0, and then it goes down this way, like so. So the equation for g of x would be x squared. When you have your factor squared, that's when you get the bounce. When it's to the second power, the fourth power, or the sixth power, etc. That's the multiplicity thing. When it crosses once, that's when it's just to the first power, third power, fifth power, etc. So we know that it crosses at -4 because it has that one negative intercept, and then it has the two other come from that bounce situation because it's x is squared. So that's what we know about this. So that's the kind of the thing, reviewing and putting this all together. So we can make a graph on this. We even know what the equation looks like. Oh, whoa, one more thing. The leading coefficient's negative, so that means there has to be a negative number in front. You can pick any negative number you want to. So you could pick like -3 could be in there. So -3x squared, and that makes it be up on the left and down on the right. I almost forgot that part. All right, next page. Basically, this is a matching, or well, it's the thing where we do the hints, like I show you a graph, and you have to do the hints to figure out what it is. So we kind of skipped that in class today. And then we also skipped this too because we've done so many things just like this. All right, so here's the orange paper. This is a summary of the stuff that we've been talking about. And you can see right here, this is, let me get my color right. I guess red is okay, red's okay. And we have the cubic polynomial. It's positive and odd, so it's down on the left and up on the right. The 6 right here, the 6 on the end, remember what that tells me? It tells me where it crosses the y-axis. And then these parts right here tell me where the x-intercepts are. 2. That one would be -3. Remember, it's the opposite because you add it or subtract it over, and then x is equal to 1. Those are the zeros of the function. And those are right there, -3, 1, and 2. And since they're all singles, that means it actually crosses there. So that's connecting the standard form and the factored form and the graph of the polynomial and how it curves and stuff like that with the end behavior, the highest power, the leading coefficient. All of those things are put together in this section. All right, so you can read through that at your own leisure. Next page is the purple page. So the purple page is 177 and 178. All right, so here you can make any graph you want. Number 2, you're looking for what our mistake is. Let's go through number 3. So we know this has to be like a 4th degree polynomial or a 6th degree polynomial, etc., because it is up and up. All right, it's up on the left and up on the right. We know that it crosses at a positive number. So it says the constant term is negative. No, that's not true. The constant term is positive, so that's out. It has 2 relative maxes. No, it has 2 relative mins, so that's out. It has 4 linear factors. Those are where it crosses the x-axis. It crosses here, 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 and there. So yeah, it has 4 of those. Leading coefficient is positive. Oh yeah, positive and even. Yeah, it's positive, so it's that one. One of the factors is x minus 1, so that would be plus 1. No, actually one of the factors is x plus 1, so that should say x plus 1, so that's not it. One of the zeros is 2. Yeah, it crosses at 2, so that's good. And one of the relatives is between 1 and 3. Well, the relative minimums are between like -4 and -1, and they're between 2 and 6. So G is just a nonsensical answer. There's no way it's that one. So the answer is A, D, and G. All right, next page. Here you're just in behavior. Here you're talking about the graph and the bounce situation, so that's good review. Here you have to look at the positives and the negatives and stuff. And right here it says -3, so that means it's going to be -3 there when you're like multiplying this out. And if it's -5 there and -3 there, then this is wrong. This has to be +15, which matches the +15 there. And then if that negative's there, then this would have to be negative, because if you multiply those 2 boxes together, you get negative there. And that makes sense, because when you put these together right here, -3 and 4 make the x squared up here, make the x squared term. Then this part here is not right. We have 3 times 4, this should be -12. That should be -12. And then 5 times x, that would be just -5x, not -15x. Now you put the -5 and the -12 together, and you get the -17 up there. So they just made some slight mistakes when they were doing this. All right, number 7. Let's go through number 7 in detail together. You can start it, pause the video, and then go through it. That'd be the best way for you to learn. We're gonna factor this all out. So we know that we have a known factor. I'm gonna put my work kind of in this space right here. We have a known factor of x plus 2. And we're going to go x cubed plus 8x squared plus 5x minus 14. And we got to divide this out. So we pick out x. So you divide it, and see if we get the same answer. So pause the video, you divide it, and see what goes on here. So x squared multiplied by x is x cubed, multiply again, plus 2x squared. Then we're going to pick up red, negative and negative, go back to blue. That cancels out, and I get 6x squared plus 5x. And then I pick out 6x. 6x times the x would be 6x squared. 6x squared. And then 6x times that would be 12, so it would be plus 12x. Pick out the red, subtract, subtract. That's going to be 7, -7. So switch back to blue, -7x minus 14. I need a -7 up here. -7 times those two things would be -7x minus 14. When I subtract this, it's really going to be adding, and I get a remainder of 0. So this is how it multiplies out, those two things together. So now I know that x plus 2 is one factor. The other factor is x squared plus 6x minus 7. And then I get x plus 2 times, and then I can factor it another time. X and x. 7 is a prime number, so that's easy. It has to be 7 and 1. And then you got to put the signs in there correctly. It would be +7 and -1. That makes the +6 in the middle. So this is how it factors. Those are the linear factors for this standard form polynomial. And that pretty much does it. You can fill in the blanks for the other parts. This is a good review thing. So hopefully you paused and tried to make that work out instead of just copying it.